Okay, good morning. Hello. Who's here for karaoke? Just Tommy. No, I'm kidding. This is great. I'm happy to be back up here on this stage. Okay, so good morning. On behalf of everyone here at Fantasy Flight Games, I want to say thank you so much for joining us. Of course, it is nice and early, but as our retailer partners, of course, you are such a huge part of the success of our entire studio. So it's really important that you took this time to be here with us. My name, for those who I haven't met, is Wesley Morey. I am the brand ambassador for Fantasy Flight Games. I'm coming up on my 1 year mark, so if I haven't had a chance to meet you, I would love to do that. I'll be at the booth after this presentation. But I should be seen as your go-to source for exciting announcements and updates and things from the studio. So we're going to jump right in. This is going to wake you up, I promise. We are going to jump right in what we like to call Chapter 2 of Arkham Horror, the card game.
Feeling fine this morning. All evil and blue. I'm evil in
Just some lovely eyeballs being pulled out of your arm for a nice 9:30 in the morning, you know? The new Arkham Horror the card game core set released on March 20th and serves as a fresh starting point for both newcomers and veterans alike. This new core set, of course, features updated and all new investigators, encounter cards, and also a brand new 3 scenario introductory campaign. And then, of course, quality of life upgrades such as path tokens and card dividers, which help make the player experience even smoother. Now, this new core set is already performing very well across the globe. I've heard many of you tell me that they are already sold out in your store. But of course, for those who maybe are not as aware of the core set, this offers a really great opportunity to engage with new players who maybe have always wanted to try out a living card game or don't know what a living card game is. And don't know where to begin. So we see this core set as a perfect on-ramp for new player acquisition, and it really breathes life into an already successful game line. Now, of course, for our veteran players, it is important to note that this new core set is fully compatible with all previously released Arkham products. So again, this is not a new addition. It is a continuation. That's why we are saying it is the kickoff of Chapter 2. But in the future, this will be a required purchase for any future expansions coming out because you need the new base set of encounter cards. Speaking of future releases, the first of the brand new line of products, of Arkham products, Evergreen Investigator Packs, are available now. Almost. I also know that the shipping is delayed to Canada, so they will be coming your way. Again, we're seeing lots of great pre-sales. We're seeing a lot of people selling out. We saw an exceptionally high demand in pre-sales, of course, across the globe, which only affirms the fact that we are keeping these products evergreen, which means that they will remain in print and accessible to players. Each of these investigator decks includes one pre-built, ready-to-play deck, plus additional cards to upgrade a player's deck throughout an entire campaign. Now, these packs, of course, pair perfectly with the new core set, which allows fans to test out different investigators with that 3 scenario introductory campaign, or dive immediately into this idea of deck customization. So anyone who buys that new core set, this is a great next step. You say, what should I get also alongside my core set? You can say, grab one of these Evergreen Investigator packs, because not only are they cool, but they also feature staple cards within each specific class, the 5 different classes that exist within Arkham Horror. So it really makes them a great way just to kind of start understanding how the game works. As previously announced at the annual in-flight report, which will continue to take place at PAX Unplugged each year, For those maybe not familiar, the in-flight report is what Fantasy Flight Studios gives each year. It kind of gives an update of what's going on with us. But this new core set and the 5 Evergreen Investigator packs will be followed by a 3-scenario campaign expansion called Children of Blood. If you could guess, it is about vampires. And a scenario pack entitled Traces to Nowhere. Now, moving forward, FFG is committed to releasing 4 new Arkham Horror the card game products each year. We like to think of it kind of like a subscription system. So your customers will buy the core set, and then they can just keep their eye out for every few months. There'll be a new product. They can choose to opt in on the products they like, or they can wait to the next release. Again, this is why we like that new starting point type of perspective. But the cadence of these 4 releases will remain consistent, but they will be different types of products. So we will have story products and player products. Now, story products, of course, are scenario packs, the 3 scenario campaigns, and 5 scenario campaigns. And this is a shift away, for those familiar with Arkham Horror, this is a shift away from the long-form 8 scenario campaigns. But we really think that this is going to help keep the game accessible for players without sacrificing any of that mechanical complexity that people have really come to love, or that narrative storytelling. And I've spoken with the designers myself as somebody who loves the game, and they're really confident that these specific story products, these scenario packs, the 3 and the 5 scenario campaigns, are going to feel just as exciting and robust as all of the previous releases. The player products, on the other hand, will include investigator expansions and then deck building expansions, and those are specifically focused on fleshing out the card pool for each class. So again, that's why we call it a living cards game. It really asks your players to commit to the whole game line, but keeping it accessible by having different types of products so they can really hone in on the type or the part of the game that they really love. Before we move on from Arkham Horror, I do want to take a moment just to celebrate an event we had. We hosted something called the Miskatonic Masquerade back in Minneapolis, St. Paul, where Fantasy Flight Studios is based. And we have a little highlight video, and this was to celebrate the launch of the new core set. Fantasy Flight Games is celebrating the launch of Arkham Horror the card game's new core set. Welcome to the Miskatonic Masquerade.
The new core set for Arkham Horror the card game is the launch of a brand new product line for Chapter 2, and I'm absolutely thrilled to have had the opportunity to work on it.
We're so excited for the Arkham Horror core set to get it in fans' hands, and we can't wait for them to see what we're cooking up next. For me, Chapter 2 is a dream come true for all the weird and wonderful corners of the mythos that we're getting to explore for the very first time.
The next chapter of Arkham Horror the card game has begun. Arcane mysteries await. Will you answer the call? For those wondering, yes, that is the suit I wore to my wedding. The Miskatonic Masquerade was hosted on Saturday, April 4th. It was hosted at the Wabasha Street Caves, which is a real-life, historic, and very possibly haunted speakeasy that exists in the Twin Cities. And we were really thankful to have people from 19 different states across the U.S. join us for that event. So that's why we wanted to show it off to you. We see a passion, we see a drive for people to really show up for these Arkham-style events. And we know that if people want to host things like that, we really believe that there's a strong ask for it. All right, moving on to Marvel Champions. Moving on to our other living card game. 2026 promises to be a year might I even say, a very daring year for Marvel Champions, the card game. Daredevil, Echo, and the rest of the Defenders are officially joining Marvel Champions. We have officially kicked off spoiler season, and let me tell you, the fans are rabid. People have been asking for Daredevil specifically to join Marvel Champions, and we're so excited to bring that to them. The release of the Fear No Evil campaign expansion in July marks the beginning of an entire Defenders-themed wave of products coming out throughout the rest of 2026. Fear No Evil specifically includes 2 pre-built and ready-to-play decks, Daredevil and Echo. You can see them there on the box. Plus 6 new scenarios centered around defending or defeating superpowered criminals, which is actually an additional villain to face than typical in the regular sets. Fans and retailers, of course, have a great opportunity to pair this next Marvel Champions release with the other exciting Defenders content that is coming out across different forms of entertainment throughout the rest of the year. And again, as previously announced at the 2025 In-Flight Report, the lineup of Marvel Champions releases this year shows our commitment to the health and longevity of this game. That has always been a question. We are very invested in Marvel Champions, the card game. Following the Fear No Evil campaign expansion, Jessica Jones and Luke Cage hero packs released in August, the Shadowlands scenario pack in the fall, and then, of course, rounding out the year, we have the Elektra and Iron Fist hero packs releasing in the winter. And I wish I could tell you all the things, but I promise you 2027 is even bigger than this. If people are really excited about Daredevil, just wait until we tell you what's happening in 2027. There are huge major announcements happening for Marvel Champions. Make sure to tune into the In-Flight Report this December at PAX Unplugged. So, jumping over to the Star Wars galaxy, the Rebels and Reinforcements expansion pack releases this July. This expansion pack is for the Star Wars The Deck Building Original Edition, and it features iconic Star Wars characters such as Obi-Wan Kenobi, C-3PO, R2-D2, Emperor Palpatine, and more. Now, not only does this expansion add more cards to the card pool, but it also introduces a brand new three new game modes, which includes a 5-part campaign mode, where players' choices and outcomes will impact what happens next. So we are trying to really elevate this game line. We've seen some passion for it, and we are excited to see what's going to come next. You will see, you got to use the laser once. You'll see on the bottom of the box here, we have these symbols, and we just want to point out that in the future, we are going to be adding, shenanigans. We are going to be adding these symbols on the bottoms of each box to help customers identify which of those products are compatible with one another, even though it is a modular system where you can take one faction from the other to elevate your game. But as you can see, the Clone Wars edition, of course, gave us a new theme to explore. The Mandalorian faction pack gave us a 3-player mode, and now with the Rebel and Empire Reinforcements expansion, we have campaigns. So FFG is really looking forward to, again, expanding this line of Star Wars The Deck Building game. And now I have to say, sometimes when exploring the galaxy, you might stumble upon what we like to call an unlikely group of heroes or people with unique backgrounds, skill sets, or motivations who come together to achieve an impossible goal. And of course, this daring teamwork is the inspiration for A Lawless Time. I am personally very excited for pod racing to enter Star Wars Unlimited. Of course, the theme of A Law this time focuses on daring heists, thrilling raids, fearless outlaws, and criminal masterminds. And as the seventh set release, A Law this time represents a really significant milestone in the life of Star Wars Unlimited. So when the game launched in March of 2024, I know it seems like it's been out for a while, but we just passed 2 years. The first 2 years of products were already deep into the design and production process, as we know is typical for most trading card games. So as we move now into year 3, A Law this time is not only the first set to feature a new feature of the game, which is multicolor and multi-aspect cards, but it's also the first set to incorporate feedback directly from consumers, of course, retailers, and also gameplay within our organized play system. So this data that we received throughout season 0 of organized play has really been studied in depth by our team, and it allowed our game designers and also our developers, which we didn't have game developers when the game first launched, to adjust the way they actually approach game mechanics and also the player experience overall. So on top of that, A Law this time is also the first set of a new rotation. So again, it's breathing this fresh life into this new TCG. And we're really happy to say that community feedback, at least through the spoiler season and also the release, has been extremely positive for A Law this time. If you haven't had a chance to stop by our booth, we do have a lot of the cards from A Law this time represented at our booth. We have some card displays. You can see some of the alt art treatments. Take a look and chat with us about the 7th set A Law this time. In addition, this is my very heavy text slide. Don't worry, don't glaze over. I'm going to walk you through it quickly. In addition to the overall design and development strategy of Star Wars Unlimited shifting, A Law this time also allowed us to bring a much anticipated update to both the standard and the Carbonite booster packs. Of course, with a trading card game, the booster pack opening experience is extremely important, and with a collectible card game, we want our Carbonite experience as well to be really strong. So we began by removing the black border standard foils, which fans have, of course, found impractical to use, especially in competitive decks. And we added a guarantee of at least one hyperspace and one hyperspace foil card in every pack. If anyone's not familiar with these words I'm saying, stop by the booth. I will translate for you later. But there is also a greater chance of discovering these alt art variants with non-foil prestige cards, which are now appearing in standard packs. So we removed some of the cards that people didn't want. We added in some of the cards that people were yearning for. And then also after A Law this time, the rare bases will be moved from the rare slot to the base slot. So we're really confident that these changes are going to make for a better pack opening experience overall. Whether that's we're opening one pack, we're opening 7 displays, we're really trying to elevate that experience. The Carbonite packs and the booster boxes are our collector level booster rack opportunity. And it, of course, remains still the best way for collectors to discover their favorite alt art treatments. And, of course, those specialty showcase leaders, we do have a few of those at our booth as well. So by removing those standard foils from the Carbonite packs as well, the number of hyperspace and hyperspace foil, those collectible cards, of course, had to increase. We are also adding some new levels of chase to our serialized prestige cards. So the tier 3 level prestige cards, which was the top level of collector item for Star Wars Unlimited, we are now expanding that to include X of 50, X out of 100, and X out of 250. So now there are 3 different levels of chase with our serialized cards, and these are now officially the rarest cards that exist in Star Wars Unlimited packs, and of course are going to be featured as an extra special part of someone's collection. And also, the last thing, to increase the rarity and chase within the Carbonite packs, there was a slight decrease in showcase appearances, but while the rate of showcase appearances in the standard packs that you could find in a regular booster box is unchanged. So, long story short, we have been able to take feedback. We've adjusted. We're really excited to see how this launches us into the next phase of Star Wars Unlimited. Of course, a major part of any TCG is the organized play program. So players and retailers will continue to see the expansion of organized play. And that, of course, is beginning with an increase in the number of planetary qualifiers offered. We're also hosting the first ever Eternal planetary qualifiers this year, and with a lot more to come in the future. Again, we started the rotation, so we want to make sure we have that Eternal format still supported. If you are interested in hosting an Eternal format event, please reach out to your rep. We would really love to hear from you. The feedback from you as retailers, understanding what your communities are asking for, is extremely helpful to us. But even though we are expanding through this Eternal format, Premier format will, of course, remain the main focus. And as Star Wars Unlimited progresses and grows, there will be additional support for both limited and Eternal players as well. So not only is our OP program supporting the competitive play, as we always have, there are some big changes coming to support casual play for our stores in the near future. So far, 2026 has proven a very successful few months for organized play. We had almost 50 players attending planetary qualifiers on average across the globe. We had over 1,300 players compete in the Tilburg, Mesa, and Paris sector qualifiers, and already 450 players have qualified for the 2026 Galactic Championship as of earlier this month. Now, some of you maybe have the chance to demo these Twin Suns decks. One of the most consistent feedback we have received from the team, both online and in person at events, is we want more Twin Suns. We're hearing this from our fans. And the Twin Suns format offers a more casual and accessible way to engage with Star Wars Unlimited, whether that's at a local game store or even just around the kitchen table. So Twin Suns is our multiplayer casual formats. We have a different set of rules, a different style of card deck. And if you want to have a chance to experience those, there is still, I think, one more demo this morning. Otherwise, you can stop by our booth. We'd be happy to show you it. But this allows players to connect with their friends and, of course, discover some new and, I like to say, chaotic ways to engage with the game. It really encourages table talk. It encourages alliances. It includes backstabbing as well. So if you are looking for a casual way that is still fun, Twin Suns is a great way in. They release on May 8th, so we are coming up. These 4 new pre-constructed Twin Suns decks promise to be a must-have for every player's collection. Each Twin Suns deck consists of 80 unique cards with 2 leaders, 1 base, and a set of tokens. Each individual deck features 35 brand new cards, plus some rare and legendary reprints from past sets. And across all 4 of the decks, there's a total of 8 new leaders, 4 new bases, and 72 other new cards. So again, we're really elevating the Star Wars Unlimited experience for players and collectors. As I mentioned before, Twin Suns pre-constructed decks add a more casual multiplayer format to the game, which of course is a staple across many other TCGs. So we are really just joining into the pipeline of TCGs. To support the release of these new pre-constructed decks, there will be, and of course for Twin Suns format itself, both the sector and the regional qualifiers, plus the Galactic Championship, will feature Twin Suns side events. So it's important to note that the cards featured in Twin Suns decks cannot be acquired anywhere else, and each of the 4 decks share some common and uncommon cards, but the rare and legendary cards are deck specific. So that means that the hunt for these, if you want to get a full Eternal format, again, as we're elevating that Eternal format, set of those rare and legendary cards, you would require additional purchases or buying singles. As this is a new product being added to the game line, there is a limited print run planned, but due to the consistent positive feedback that we've been getting, requesting more Twin Suns product, we really expect these decks to be in high demand. And again, we're hearing from you all that pre-sales are going very well. And of course, we're getting here to the end. The other major event in the Star Wars Unlimited calendar this year is, of course, the 2026 Galactic Championship. The 2025 Galactic Championship brought 3,500 attendees from across the globe, with 2,200 of those players competing to become our first ever Galactic Championship. Tickets are on sale. We have already had immense selling out of our premium VIP and our VIP ticket levels. But we hope that many of you might be able to join us July 24th through the 26th at the Venetian Resort in Las Vegas to find our next champion. Now, lastly, I just want to make sure we would personally invite you to save the date for our 2026 in-flight report presented by me. Yes, I am wearing this exact outfit, just with longer hair. But we will be presenting that at PAX Unplugged, and it will be live streamed on our YouTube channel this December. And there we are going to lay out all of our plans for 2027 and offer exclusive updates and spoilers for what's coming next. So, on behalf of everyone at the Fantasy Flight Games Studio, I want to thank you so much for joining me this morning. It's been great just seeing people trickle in. I don't think we have much time left for questions. I want to be cognizant of time, so
I have a couple questions directly from the live Q&A.
hit me. Great.
There's one that you probably answered in your presentation, but people showed up after.
Sure.
The question was concerning Arkham Horror.
Yes.
So are the Evergreen and Investigator packs backwards compatible?
Yes, everything in the new Arkham Horror Chapter 2 line, as we're calling it, is completely compatible backwards. But again, the starting point is now the new core set, so anything moving forward will need that core set.
Other question is, what's being done to mitigate the coalition issues seen with the Lawless Time?
Coalition issues. I actually don't know what that means. So if you ask that question, find me, and I would love to hear about it.
What? Collation issues?
Collation issues. I don't know what that word means.
Maybe someone in here asked the question. Maybe you can no?
Because article we cover that's the every pack had the showcase here.
Sure. Yeah. So we did an intense, we did a very thorough audit with our printing company, and we did post. We talked about this either on our socials or on a live stream somewhere. But that was a really small percentage. It was less than 100 boxes across the entire globe were affected. And also, we looked at the printing files, and those 100 boxes did not affect the overall drop rates of those showcases across any of the other, whether that was the Carbonite booster packs or the regular booster packs. So we did do a deep audit of that to make sure. So there are those 100 boxes out there that exist in the world, but they did not affect any of the other product. Yes.
We can grab maybe one last question. Anybody else have a question for Wes? All right, well, it's a wrap.
That's great. Thanks. Come see us at the booth. For those who were participating in the Arkham Horror Scavenger Hunt that we're doing, we want to thank the Canada Place team for helping us activate that. We're going to be drawing for the winner of the Arkham Horror Core set in about an hour. So if anybody wants to complete their Arkham Scavenger Hunt, come say hi. We'll be at their booth. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Wes.